Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Crust. Hope you're having a great day today. Episode 3. We have access now to the multi-regolith refineries. Oh boy, do we. Yes. We could definitely remake everything about how we process all this regolith around. And we could do so this early in the game. I'm loving it. Now,
research complete.
We have this sort of requirement to prepare ourselves for the crew from Hope 2. So I am going to focus more on that, make sure that's really solid first. Then I need to make sure my budget is really under control. That's got to happen. We also need underground conveyors before we can really take advantage of the multi-regolith refineries, because the way the belts need to go through and underneath each other and stuff. So I'm going to wait until I have underground conveyors before I really get serious in that. That's in a work in progress right now. And then also, I think we definitely want smart concrete factory going too. We're going to be generating a lot of slag with these things, as we already are. We're going to want to do that too. Smart concrete factory can replace the pressers. Not entirely. We're going to want to have at least one presser, because when they do dig things out, they need a place to put all this stuff. Now, we could have them just like throw this stuff into a buffer, you know, and then have all this regolith just kind of enter into the normal system that the multi-regoliths are doing. We could do that. But I think since there's not a whole lot of value to this stuff, taking up space and the processing and the real estate, that's why is this not finishing? Guys, come on, finish this. Having that take up that space for all the other resources is probably just not where I want to go. So I probably will have one processor. But we have all this space now, and kind of want to start thinking about where we're going to process all this stuff, right? So I still got a lot of digging here going on. And we can't actually get into the hard stuff yet. The hard stuff, the basalt. It's harder rock, right? So we need hard rock drilling to get into that stuff, and that's where our rare earths and stuff are located too.
Around the research post, there is a leveled platform and several small buildings. Wheel tracks are leading away from it in different directions. Inside the structure is disarray. Items are scattered, lockers are open and emptied, emergency crates are opened and emptied. In some rooms, there is a large amount of research equipment and materials. There are no people to be seen. They clearly left the outpost in a hurry.
So we can go after the science, or we can go after the salvage machinery. I don't know why we can't do the machinery after the science, so let's try the science first.
Based on what I saw, the outpost was engaged in studying photosynthetic microorganisms capable of living in a vacuum and zero gravity. Director, send drones to study the materials. This will aid in further research.
That's what I tend to do. Okay, so we need a little bit of iron to build that, and then we're good to go. And then this also needs built now too, so we'll get that going. And then ice has begun. We have now begun extracting ice with our ice extractor. Yeah, that's what an ice extractor does. And it's going to send it over here, and then this is going to start processing it. Now we're going to need a place to store this. And we're going to start with a small water tank. I'm going to place one right here. We'll start with one oxygen receiver as well on this side. So that's what we need now. So this is sort of the next steps in getting this place to be habitable for Hope 2. So we're doing pretty well in that regard. I'm liking it. We're up to 203 CPU power consumed, and our batteries are at 67%, and we're not even close to halfway done with the daytime yet. So I'm feeling good about our power expansions as well. Seem pretty stable. I say this at the risk of it becoming unstable, but we're seeing pretty stable. So also looks like to me, wow, really? I can afford more than this? You kidding me right now? We're making a lot of silicon with this. This is great. Getting upgrades to existing processing is going to be better, I think, overall. However, those upgrades, when we upgrade the stations, like if I get the smelting upgrades to, make these smelters faster. If I was to do that, I can't get the refund for that back if I tear them down. So anything that's like smelting, that kind of stuff, I'm not going to do upgrades unless that machine is there forever, is basically what I'm saying. So like here, this was worth it because I can't put any more titanium down on that. Here it doesn't make as much sense because I can use 2 extractors. And in fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna get 2 extractors going there, like that, and then we're gonna go like this. We have almost 40,000 bucks. So let's get that right like that. And then I also want them to build this so I can scan.
Research complete.
All right, stop. Research is done on the ventilation, and we are currently using all 3 types. So cargo drones next. That leads us to recycling. So I'm going to do that after this. So that's the blue one after this. Underground conveyors. We're going to go smart concrete after that. And then on the medical block side of things, I think we probably do... I don't think we'll need the CPU. I don't think we need the data center just yet. That's the thing. We could go back and try to get more progress on the extended trade license. We will be getting trading eventually, and reducing the cost of using cargo pods by 40% and reducing the market commission seems pretty good. So, I mean, the discount's very small, but if we have a really good global reputation, then the discount gets bigger and bigger. But at least it's a discount on the cargo pods specifically, so I like that. And then we're going to need a fundamental science lab in order to complete the objective too. So I don't think it matters. This one's probably more important to get before this one. This is 25,000 research compared to just 1850 here. So I think maybe we'll go fundamental science after that. That is also going to use a little bit of engineering time as well. All right, so Rover's kind of doing nothing out here. Let's get him doing something else. There's not a lot to do, is there? Maybe there's something around the area. Let's scan. It doesn't look like anything significant around the area. We'll go back towards the base a little bit. No, I want to go like this. We'll move out towards the base a little bit, see if we can find anything. And the water extraction task still wants me to build this thing. It's just not building. So let's get oh, they're still filling this up. This is not the biggest priority anymore either, but they're still doing it. What are we waiting for on this? Components? That doesn't make any sense. What are you waiting for? Aluminum. Oh, right. You're not... It's locked. That's right. I locked it. So we don't have any components. Let's lock it on this side too. How many plates do we have? 134 is pretty good for profits. I think we're fine on money. When we open up the market, that'll be great. It looks to me like we can definitely afford to have more batteries. So let's have a little bit more battery action going on right here, here, and here. And maybe one more in the back here. So we'll just have you expand this way, like that, and then over like so. All right, and then we'll get you guys to go ahead and make these too, because why not? Because we're full. Since we're full, I'd love to scan right now. Would love to scan right now. I just don't have the stuff to do it. Underground conveyors being done is huge. Now we start smart concrete, and then once we have smart concrete access, I think now I'm going to start tearing a lot of stuff down. I'm feeling pretty good about our money at the moment, especially given that I have 136 of these plates. I can sell those for quite a bit. So I think we'll be in great shape there. And titanium needs to be in stock in order for us to build the ice smelter. That's okay though, because this will just fill up until it's full and then it will stop operating. That's fine. We're not going to waste any resources that way. All the storage tanks and stuff are completed. We're just waiting for components on that. And then all of the beds are waiting for aluminum. Oh, I still don't have the aluminum. I don't have it. I'm going to have to buy it from the store, and I don't want to do that either. But I've been looking everywhere. It's just wherever it is, it's really far away. Okay, so let's talk about the multi-regolith area here. Each one of those things takes 5 CPU, but it's replacing every one of these single refineries. What we want to do is figure out where we're going to process everything. The slag we want to have routed over near where the silicon will be routed. Or at least we want to route the silicon and the slag in a similar direction, at least, wherever that is. It doesn't matter where, as long as it's in a similar direction, because that's how we're going to get smart concrete produced rapidly. And if we've learned anything from the last playlist, it's that... And the laser, the big laser thing, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there's a big laser thing later, okay? And it requires an insane amount of resources. Just it's so insane how many resources it needs.
Connect it to the network.
And so
Use the ore detector to build the ice extractor, and then
we did it. Now it's going to say build ice melter. I'm building the ice melter now. It's right there. Okay, that's the next place to live. Yep. Here we go. So I have a little bit of battery left. Aluminum. I just want to will it into existence. Okay. Aluminum. Okay, it's water. Water's good, and we're gonna need it. If it's near aluminum, that's fantastic too. We can definitely do better with fuel. Come on. Oh, okay, more titanium is good too, but still no aluminum. Aluminium. Maybe I have to say it correctly, otherwise. If I say it like the English, will you show up for me? Let's see. Aluminium. Nope. Okay, well, we're probably gonna have to buy some, but and for the most part, everything's just waiting on components at this point anyway. So all the things that are really important are just waiting on components, and actually this one is just waiting on titanium being in stock. So let's take this and we'll say that we want to disable it. We'll leave 20 in there, so it won't even eject anything until we have 20 anyway, and then they now can have it to access it and bring it over here, and then we can start melting that ice now. Okay. Rover's Idol has had the base. Yeah. You are supposed to go over here actually to... Oh, we found something. Nice. Right over here. Something's over there. We have a point of interest. We can scan, and we can find it. Okay, so multi-regolith out here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. We currently have 6 single regolith refineries, all being replaced by 1 multi-regolith refinery. And then I want to add 2 more. Probably, we might be good with 1 more. So like we'll start with 2, but we want to leave space and design sort of like a future system to accommodate like 12 of those suckers probably. So that's why we have so much room over here with nothing going on. This is where we're going to use it for, I guess. I just can't believe how far out we are digging here. And there's no resources.
Objective achieved.
I just feel like that is
now that we have ice
crazy.
mining, we need to learn about oxygen facilities to create a life support system. Complete the appropriate research and build an electrolysis plant.
Dude, this animation is awesome. I don't remember this looking like this. That's really cool.
Objective achieved.
Yep, now we need the electrolysis plant. Call me a pessimist, but I've heard enough stories about sudden water and power outages leading to the deaths of entire base crews. Let's make sure that doesn't happen to us. We need to build the oxygen receiver. Did that already, but we need to build the electrolysis plant as well. So that's this, and it's just waiting for additional components at this point. So no big deal. We have plenty of stuff in there. That's going to happen. And then all pending constructions at that point are just waiting on aluminum at that. That's just how it's going to be. You go. Power forward there. How many you guys? 6.3 days. Oh boy. So we're going to have a darkness now. I scanned too much. Too much scanning from me. The good news is these don't require any special parts, do they? Solar panels. We have plenty of plates. We have plenty of all of those things, actually. So we can do this. Let's take all of these away. Let's get all of these broken down.
Unable without research.
Right, I can't do that because I don't have the salvage stuff yet, but let's take all of these solar panels away. This will free up some CPU as well. At least temporarily. Since they're not generating anything for us anyway, we can break them down. We don't have to have that be... I was going to take the... Wow, it just goes away before I can even do anything there. Okay. There we go. And then we can replace these with all the medium ones instead, right? And then once we get recycling, which has got to be... It's not even on the schedule? All right, the cargo drone needs to be done first. Yeah. It's fine. Okay, so with that done, broken down, we can now go solar panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. So groups of 5 all the way down. I think probably that's how I want to do that. Do I want to go all the way to 6? I'd rather not. Yeah, I'd rather not. So let's start with those 5. If we get these done, then we can start working on the next row. And then what we're going to want to do here instead, I think, is temporarily... Well, let's see them build. We can always do the wires instantly, but let's watch these things build. And then I'm going to make sure that this goes maximum priority for all of these. We have the resources to make that happen. We can generate more power and maybe, you know, don't scan so much and we won't go dark. There we go. Yep. So you're melting ice into water, right? And then the water is going into the storage tank. It's full now. So I would think that we don't need to do this anymore. So I can shut this off. And I can shut this off. And the ice should just sit here. Ice doesn't melt on the belt, right? Because it's super cold, of course. So it's not going to melt on the belt. So we're just going to let this go. There's nothing consuming the water. There is? Oh. Oh, you're built now. Oh, good. Well, this is consuming the water. We're going to have organics ready to go for them then. Excellent. Never mind. Continue operating. Yeah, we're going to have organics and storage ready for them. We should probably look at getting a separate storage for organics if possible. A general storage would do it, but I think a better one would be just the vending machine and then having the organics stored in here. Maybe I go like this. I don't want to have that be too... Maybe it's this direction. Or I could switch it. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I'm trying to get it to where I have storage for the organics. Not just the food, but also organics. And I was going to put these next to each other like that, but now I kind of want to put them somewhere else. Not in here. And I don't want to crowd the rest of the room for that bed. If I put another one of these farms, it would be here. And so I guess it would be like this is where I would store that. Because another farm would certainly be nice to have, so they don't run out of food. So I would probably go like this. They can walk between here, and then the crew can just eat here. We'll have another room for another table here at this point. But this one would store the organic material. Can store up to 360 in here. So I'd have that. So now this stuff is going to grow. Drones manage this stuff, but colonists working it will add to its efficiency. So it will go much faster if you have staff working it, but it will still go even without staff, if that makes sense. And that's why we have water being drained a little bit if I stop melting it, which is fine. We're making food for these guys later, so it's good. Okay, we got all these done. That's good. So now we're going to take you away. Let's also have all of these things can go away too. All the way out to, let's go, we're halfway done with the night. Let's go to there for now. No, I need the space available to put the other one down. So we'll go there tonight. Okay. Great. Now we can install the hauling drone reconfigurator. This will significantly speed up operations. Very good. Hauling drones transport multiple units of a single resource type, greatly accelerating pod loading. However, remember, they do not maintain modules or deliver construction materials. For those tasks, standard drones are still required. They don't maintain modules. That's fine. They don't deliver construction materials. Basically, they haul everything around. All that regolith going into storage, trade stuff, hauling into our trucks for expeditions. All that stuff is good. And they would also come over and grab these things off the ground and bring them to storages. But they won't bring materials for building the modules. Still need extras for that, is what it says. Let's go to this. So we're wasting blue science at the moment. And let's get the conveyor elevator is probably a good one to grab. No, recycling, of course. And then after recycling, maybe RTG. We need engineering past fundamental science, though. And then, yeah, we need green and past that, too. Anything else I'm going to need for colonists? No, we'll put data center on there. That's going to be good, too. All right, so let's have them tear these things down. And what I want to do is start linking these up in this direction. All right. We're going to build the other medium ones here, and then we'll link them up in that direction. And then by the time we get all the way around and we have these ones settled, actually, you know, it's going to be nice to have another power pole anyway, because we're going to put the expedition center out. So this is going to be needed anyway. So we'll just bring another power pole out this way. Then this can hook up to the little guys. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and put in more medium panels here, here, and here. And then I can't do that one without these out of here, but I want to make sure that we don't have these gone and not replaced before the sun comes up. And I think we're running out of time there. So we're just going to kind of do it like this instead. Oh, this is a good way to do it. We'll just do it like this. Yeah. That's okay. Because then all I have to do is delete this if I want to. Or I don't have to. I could just leave it connected too. So whatever. This pole is not a waste. It'll be used. Because Expedition Center, repeater, etc., all that stuff needs hooked up to power. So we're going to bring that out that way, and we'll need the power routed out that direction anyway. Okay, so right before the sun comes up, we get our new fancy schmancy ones. And I don't know whether or not we're actually going to be generating more power with these than we were before. The other ones that are in their spot. There's a little bit of a gap here now, but overall, not a big deal. Let's go ahead and connect you temporarily to that one. And now we have 2 grids. No, we have 1 grid now. Yep, 1 grid that can power all those batteries. I think they'll do a better job, but I don't know that. So I guess we'll have to find out. See if we can get that to 100% power. And we are not scanning with you. Not right now. Nope. Not yet. I'd like to, but not yet. This just requires components. We should have those. We should. Right? No? You're making them, though, yes? Yes. Okay, so we're growing organics. Takes a long time, like 30 days for that to produce anything. So you're going to need a few of them. And I want to start producing and getting organic material ready and food ready before they even arrive. Although, if I remember correctly, rescuing the crew, they do come with some food. They have like some reserves with them to hold them over for a little while. And because they are, you know, colonists, they can work these stations and produce it way faster anyway. So this is kind of really only needs to run like once before they get here. It's not a huge deal. So right now it says we're only up by 72 power. Okay, it's going up 112. Now our colonists won't die from lack of oxygen, at least not until they run out. I think it's a good start. Keep in mind that additional rooms in the facility will be uninhabitable until we connect them to a source of oxygen. For this, each room needs ventilation. Yes. So ventilation is next.
Director, we now have living quarters. It's time to make them habitable. Build beds, a farm, and a kitchen. The new residents will need them.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to build beds, except I don't have any aluminum.
Hydroponic farms will allow food to be produced as long as there is access to water. A kitchen will allow colonists to cook and eat. As for the purpose of beds, I bet you can figure that one out on your own.
Yeah, again.
Director, colonists will come to the base to work, not to relax. Build a fundamental science lab so they can help generate fundamental science points. And don't forget about the medical block. The healthier our employees are, the better they will be able to perform their duties.
I believe you. Now, I want to have this room really big. All right, and this is going to be a very long-term project that they're going to be building. And so this, I think I'm not going to start construction on until we have our multi-regolith stuff set up. Because that's going to take up a large amount of their time and resources. And I want to have those resources available so that they're not waiting around for it. So that room we're going to wait on. However, since we don't have the bedrooms situation just yet sorted and we don't have aluminum access just yet, why don't I make that over here? Get that out of the way so they don't have to, you know, work this farm area, right? We don't need them to work this farm area and sleep in the same area. I think this is still going to count as a workplace, and I don't think they want to sleep there. So I'm just going to expand this out really quick and give them another bedroom area now that we have the basics done for these guys. And we'll start with, I think right up next to this area is probably what we're going to start with. And it could bleed over into this. We could put a door here on this side. Maybe that's good. That way they don't have to necessarily come into this side just to go to this side. They can exit their bedroom over here if that's where they want to go. So I think we'll start right about there in that area with our drillers. And then let's go ahead and get a few more drillers to help out with that. So we'll start digging into the sidewall there and build another room. Okay, medical block is done. Let's go in and maybe get a large dining table. No, I like gravistabilizers. This is cool. Carbon fiber is something we will definitely be doing a little bit later. Still like the idea of going after this extended trade license before we unlock contracts. It is definitely harder to do this. It's definitely a slower progression and harder to do the game without the contract system. But it's all right. It's all right. We're going to be rescuing these guys. I think it's long-term worth it. Flight control. Conveyor elevator is good, but we already have... What I need is something... smart concrete. Yeah, let's pop you up here. I'm going to do that one first. And then we'll switch to having... hard rock drilling. That covers me for blue and... Yeah. Covers me for blue and orange science. All right, let's see how fast this battery's going up. Plus 362. I want to say that's slower than we had before, but I think they're still climbing. I think their generation is still climbing, right? Oh boy. Oh boy. We have an exclamation point. You know what that means? It means we're on a timer. To be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised. You set up the habitat module much faster than we expected. We managed to predict the exact landing time of Hope 2 and figured out how to delay its collision with the moon. If you manage to send the parts to the station, you'll not only gain some extra time to set up the space, but also give the crew a chance to repair the damaged rescue capsule. This is a chance to save more lives, Director. If you take on this task, we'll provide all the necessary calculations. I'd love to send the materials. Let's see what that is.
Your colleagues have already received the new technology for building the landing platform. Prepare the materials and send them to the station as soon as possible. Remember, sloppiness could cost someone their life.
I don't know what materials I need, but let's see. We need a landing platform, which I have, and components to send to Hope 2. Okay.
The landing platform is now ready to operate. I've got everything set up. As soon as the pod arrives, the drones will fill it with resources, and the cargo will go to the Hope Station. You can see it in the pod's interface how much material is left to load.
Okay, so we still have to do the beds for a place to live. Working on that. I'm probably just going to have to buy the aluminum, unfortunately. I was looking everywhere, but I just don't see it. And ahead of time, it says, send the parts to the falling station. So what are the parts? It said components, but what are the parts? So it's got to be a contract, right? No. Well, I'm just going to buy the aluminum at least, but I want to know what the parts are. It doesn't say. Oh, this thing's landing for us. Okay, it's gonna tell me right here. Okay, so 10 components and 20 silicon. Well, this 20 silicon is very easy. Very, very easy. The silicon is. The components might be another matter. Let me just go ahead and take the beds out of here. I want to get that extra time too. That seems like a really good thing to get the extra time for this. So for components, I really don't want to... I don't want to buy them. Thinking I want another one of these machines to crank them out, but the stuff is all in the way. Why don't we take you away? I don't need you anymore. I definitely don't need this one. So we'll go ahead and break that down. We'll go back to 2. And to be honest, I think maybe we just go back to 1. We don't need 2 of these either, I don't think. You know, the concrete's a big deal, but the drones are so busy doing other things that... I mean, I can get the hauler. Maybe get the cargo haulers right here. I want to configure them over here, I think. So let's say cargo haulers get configured right here. Like that. We can get some of those guys going. Components are actually going to be pretty easy. I thought it'd be more difficult, but we're making them pretty fast, and we have this all kind of backed up. So we're going to be good to go. We've actually already delivered 8 out of 10. Silicon was, of course, very simple. Let me get the rover. You got nothing else you're doing here. Right here. Unidentifiable. Ooh, unidentified vehicle. Ooh. Yes. What is that? Tell me what that vehicle is. That sounds great. Is it another cargo truck? Can I have another truck? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
We came across an unconventional rover at the site. It lacks passenger seats and a cargo compartment, instead featuring radio equipment. Oddly, the rover remains immobile but fully functional. Upon inspection, we discovered that the rover is equipped with radio interception and direction finding systems. It systematically stores intercepted data in its memory blocks. Strangely, there are no discernible markings or symbols to identify its owner or affiliation.
Well, I mean, we got to break in and find out what's inside, right? I ain't gonna just report this to CRUST. What am I doing that for?
Director, Alice, I have great news. There's an opportunity to capitalize on our lunar venture in a faster time frame.
Wonderful.
You must have slept through the latest news. A meteorite just hit the moon. We're short on resources and time, and all supply shipments to Earth have been cut off. But surely you have a brilliant idea.
Why is she so condescending?
Director, we're in a unique situation. There's no alternative to lunar production on Earth, and we've made excellent progress in restoring production. Even basic resources will go for extremely favorable prices. Right now, the ASIL company is requesting a batch of silicon to continue producing building materials. You can accept the contract at the control center.
Absolutely. I have tons of it, so let's do that.
We need a landing platform to exchange resources with Earth. It's a good thing we built one recently.
We did, but I want 2 of them. I kind of want it over here, though. Yeah, I'm going to probably do some stuff over here, so I think we're going to build this over here instead. Okay, so let's get that built. Oh, here we go. Contract system is a comprehensive tool for exchanging... I don't need the training. We're good. Okay, so new contracts available. ASIL wants 75 silicon. They're willing to pay us 18,000 credits. It's going to raise our reputation, our relations by raise our relations by 400 with them, raise our global reputation by 0.2, and it will also be providing us with fundamental and social science points for 90 days. So that's great. More science for us, in addition, and also some credits. The credits, I think, mostly just offset the cost of shipping it to them. So this is mostly a give me research type of thing. But we definitely want to send the resources there, so we will. Now, in this screen, we can just hit this green button now to load all. Notice how I can only send... no, sorry, I can send more than this. Yeah, I actually thought this was going to exceed the thing. I don't know why it's 75, not 750. If this, was more than 3,000 tons, and there will be lots of times where that's the case, we can change the cargo pod to a bigger one. It will cost more fixed cost, but it might be cheaper overall than sending multiple crafts because we have to pay for the landing platform every single time. It's weird. I don't like it, but it is what it is. So we have this. We load all into there. We say send. Now, we don't have a landing platform available at the moment because this is sitting on it. But if we send the final components here and this thing takes off, which will be way ahead of schedule, hopefully, on that, then this landing platform, the ship will just land automatically. But since this landing platform is getting built, then it's going to do that instead. There it goes.
Objective
Yeah,
achieved.
that's fine. So they're coming down at the same time now. It's fine. Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop that from being there. And that is going to allow us to send all of that stuff to them. Very good. Hopefully delaying their landing a little bit so that I can build their bedroom right over here. So let's get this bedroom built. So I want this to kind of be, I think, over like this. Yeah, I can't go that way. So we're going to go like this. That's a pretty sizable bedroom here. It doesn't need to be quite so big, but I figure might as well on this particular room. So sure. We might have a lot of crew later, so that's fine. The door would be located here. If I have more oxygen storage for a bigger tank, it's going to have to be located here then. Hang on a second. Can I go one more over? Yeah, I want to go one more over because I don't want to get in the way of a bigger tank potentially being there. Is it worth it though? Does it have to happen? We're going to do it anyway. It's fine. It's fine. Just tell the drillers to do it. It's okay. How many drillers do we have? Let's get all 5. We can also build another one of those things and then have 10 drillers, but it's a little excessive. You want to keep some drones that are available to do other things too. All right, so we can go a little bit further out on this now and have a little bit bigger bedroom, I think is good here. Maybe we'll have a different room in here. Maybe this will be our data center in here. Maybe the bedroom really only has to be this big. This is for like all crew into the future. Maybe we do that. We can build it here first. I like that idea, actually. We put this here. Then they go through this area, and then they can enter the bedroom in this little gap. That's okay. I like that. Let's go ahead and have them build that. Then we can build our data center here, and then it won't take up this.
Director. With that, we can patch up the escape pods and be able to rescue everyone. I'll have Deani arrange to repair the thruster immediately. We'll try to stabilize the station and buy you some more time to prepare.
I'm not here to lecture you, Arthur, but I advise you to start repairs on the power unit. There should be enough solar power to maintain life support systems and run the remaining engines.
Let's put the conveyor elevator on the schedule there, too.
Flight Engineer Nicholas Baker speaking. The commander is busy repairing the second escape pod right now. Thanks for the advice. We'll see what we can do with the new parts. We had long since scrapped the idea of getting the panels to work using our resources.
Hold on. This is where the silicon is, and if I have to put an extractor here, that's going to be a problem. Okay, hang on. Let's take away this much for now. And let me test this really quick just to see where we are. So if I go here. Okay, what? You're telling me that's not... Okay, so that's not in the way. Yeah, because that's only 8 out of... That's... Does it say 7 out of 9? 8 out of 9? 9 out of 9 is here. So the first time I can get into this is all the way here. Which means the wall can go right up to that third spot right here. The wall can go all the way up to the exclamation point row. The row that's in line with the exclamation point, yeah. Okay, so in other words, I was fine. Let's bring the wall back over here. You know what? I think... Why don't we just tear this down and redo it? I don't know how this works. Can I do a floor? Like if I do this, will it make a floor anyway? Or will it not? I don't know. Okay, it will. All right, so we put that back. And then extractor 9 out of 9 is there. Okay. So there's no gap here for this resource to go, but it's going to end up coming around and down through here anyway. Okay. That's a new voice too. They've added new voices. I know we criticized it the first playlist about using AI for voices and stuff, but like there's a lot of spoken lines in here. And they've been developing the story as they develop the game, so there's more things added now, right? I still Sincerely hope they consider having full human voice actors for every single line when this game comes out and it's done and they're solidified in their story, even though there's a lot of spoken lines. I would even volunteer to do it for free if they asked. But I am glad to see that they're adding new stuff, and this is a new voice line. That's cool.
You hang in there, Nicholas, and tell your man we won't abandon them. They don't have to worry about that.
Thank you, really. Hope is all we have right now. And transmission.
During our conversation, CRUST's projected date for the station's collision with the moon has just been updated. Given the new circumstances, it looks like we have a little more time to prepare.
There's 151
Great job,
days
Director.
now.
The funds have already been deposited into our account. At this rate, we'll soon recoup our expedition and start making a profit.
Oh, of course, we didn't have more pressing issues for which the dispatched resources would be useful. But no, Director, we didn't miss out on short-term gain.
She's such a sorry. She's so condescending. She's really not a fan of Ledger at all. So resource shortage, steel. Malachite wants some steel. We do have another contract here. They want steel. I have 174 on the base right now. However, this contract has infinite time. Indefinite, right? It's never going to expire. I can come up with this whenever I want. So that's great. We can prolong the science. We'd have 90 science for 100 days, or is that... No, it's 100 science for 90 days. Yeah. So 9,000 science in both fundamental and engineering if we complete this, which is very good for us, but it's an indefinite contract. I'm only allowed to have 2 contracts at a time, and so this is now one of them. If there was more available, which there isn't yet, but as more comes in, as we get things set up, and I think as we rescue the crew, then all of this will hopefully open up then. And then we'll have more organizations to go with there. Okay, so I think this will end up being my data center, but I want to do this first. We have the CPU power right now, and as I delete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these regolith, that's going to give me 6 CPU back. 1 multi is 5, and then I'm going to want at least another one, so that'll be 10 total. So we're only going to be plus 4. And then with that, I need to replace, like I'm going to be moving everything. I'm moving all my smelters, the concrete production, all of it gets moved to be a bit more organized. And then it's very expensive because I'm moving everything to a more final space where it has more room for expansion over time, but that means much longer belts. Conveyor belts moving longer distances is very expensive. So we're definitely going to want to leverage the contract system. And we're going to want to do this smart. We're going to want to do this in waves, little pieces at a time. So like, for example, titanium's working well. It's a good source of revenue. If we can get the contract system up to sell these plates, that's pretty good. Maybe even getting the aluminum here too would be good. Silicon, not so much, but we have a lot of it. In fact, we're about to have... Oh. We're about to be full on silicon, so selling silicon might be a good thing because we're about to be full. Anyway, the point is, once we get that set up, it's all going to be better. We're at nighttime now, so we can start deleting some of these, getting some of our CPU power back on this setup as well. I think we're just going to ditch all of them at this point. I'm all right with that. Let's break these all down, and maybe get them to do this quickly. It is a little more time sensitive than the shelter. We have several day-night cycles for the shelter.